Labour federations COSATU and SAFTU are protesting in Cape Town ahead of the budget speech by Finance Minister later today. COSATU is demanding an end to budget cuts and is against privatisation of state-owned enterprises. SAFTU, on the other hand, wants an end to budget cuts. For more, we cross to my colleague, SABC News reporter Mariska Botha. Mariska, good afternoon. Tell us what you have read from the situation with these two federations, and it seems quite peaceful. Not quite noisy at the moment. What is at the biggest of their concerns?
Well, we're actually going to speak to Benson Nkrensu from the SACP, the Western Cape Provincial Secretary, to tell us more about that. But what is unique today is that it's the SACP, COSATU, the TAC and Unite Behind are all gathering together in a single demonstration here today to make their demands heard. But let's speak now to the Provincial Secretary of the SACP in the Western Cape, Benson Nkrensu. Thank you for joining us. What are your demands today?
I think I must give a background that the SACP is part of a broad popular front against neoliberal and austerity budget, which is likely to be delivered today. And this front is constitutive of a variety of forces. Our federation, COSATU, SAFTU forces, the back to work forces, TAC forces, etc. Now, we are here to send a message to Minister Kodongwa to say when he delivers that budget, he must consider the workers and the poor who live in Mitchell's Plain, in Bredasdorp, in the Eastern Cape, in Limpopo, etc. And those people can only be saved if he were to abandon budget cuts, because budget cuts affects the delivery of services at the level of health. Because if you cut the budget, you are not going to be able to ensure that our hospitals, our clinic provide service to our people, such as doctors. There won't be shortages. There will be shortage of doctors if there is budget cuts, of nurses, of medication, of beds, and there will not be building of infrastructure. That's the first aspect. The second aspect, through budget cuts, Department of Labour will be made to cut CCMA commissioners on the base, and who benefits out of that is employers, it's not the worker. So the minister need to look at this, and also we call on the minister to ensure that he fund our national health insurance as a basis to ensure that there is universal access to health by our people. Another important aspect is the whole notion of privatization, that he must ensure that there is no privatization of any of our entities, such as the RAY, SAA, DINEL, Transit, etc. And also, we are sending a message to him to say, do not privatize the energy sector of our economy, because if you do so, it will only serve, only the rich will benefit in the process. So that's the fundamental basis for this picketing and march of today. Because the present neoliberal trajectory is responsible, I must make this point, for what we call the neoliberal restructuring of workplace, where today workers are no longer enjoying full benefits. Actually, the one notion of decent work is undermined by what? By casualization, by labor broke, including EPWPization of work here in the city of Cape Town and everywhere else. So those are the issues which you think if we were to abandon the present trajectory, indeed the workers and the poor will be saved.
Just briefly, lastly, these are the big matters that you want the minister to tackle. But the average man and woman on the street, these are tough economic times. What is the message from them with the bread and butter issues?
Women on farm who are here, and many other farm workers, etc., they came to say, look, our government, all levels, must ensure that there is no eviction of farm workers in farms, right? And that all employers across sectors of the economy complies with the minimum wage, and that all workers receive a living wage. So those are important things, and that students in universities who are today right? Others are made to sleep in halls in CPUT and other universities, that the Department of Higher Education must intervene decisively and ensure that NSFAS is provided and accommodation is provided for those students. If these issues are not addressed, right, we'll be in trouble as liberation forces. And I must make the statement to say, to us as a party, we don't believe that the right-wing moonshot and Bandustan, including MK party, are a threat. The threat to a prospects of winning elections is budget cuts, is privatization. Therefore, Minister Godongwana, abandon your neoliberal austerity trajectory. We believe that this government is the government of the people, for the people, by the people, therefore must listen to the demands of the workers, not listen from the IMF, the World Bank, etc., but listen to those who voted you to power.
Thank you very, very much. That was Benson Krönsu, the Western Cape Provincial Chairperson of the SACP, speaking to the serious matters that people on the ground face in this country, and particularly focusing on budget cuts, which the SACP and this gathering of different organizations say will make life even harder for people on the ground. But back for now, it's back to you in the studio.
Mariska, thank you much. I appreciate the update.